Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Bahasham Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is after the first and second admonition, reject. Right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. Right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom. Are you Akim out there laboring on the highways and the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, right? Pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called after the first and second admonition, reject. Right. And basically this comes from was watching the debate with Deacon Rawchaa from Genesis, and it was a Christian pastor, right? And I was just watching them, and it's like talking to, and I think I remember saying it before, but it's like talking to a wall, It's like talking to a wall and expecting the wall to understand what you're saying, right? It's not going to get it, right? Like the scriptures tell you, basically they're, what is that? Let me get it. Let's get this real quick. Let's go to, you having these debates with these wacky tacky Christians, and you're not gonna change them, right? It's not gonna change, anything of what you say, right? They're not gonna get it. All right. Let's start at 1 Timothy 4:1. Right. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, right? And when you think about, that plantation Christianity, that's a doctrine of devils, right? They're teaching you about, white Jesus, right? Which is Caesar Borgia, aka Serapis Christus, right? Yeah, look that up, right? But the whole mentality, man, that the Most High he loves everybody, right? This whole mentality, they get it twisted, right? There's no truth in it, right? And you're trying to debate someone who is basically like a wall, and it's not hearing, it's not receiving, none of that, right? So it says, 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, it says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devil. It says, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with the hot iron, right? And when you sear something with an iron, right, that iron stain, it stays there, right? And that's what plantation Christianity has done to our people, right? Where you can't remove that, okay? You can't remove it, right? And that's the problem, right? But you have, it was another one with I was watching. Well, I saw. I didn't get to see it, but it was, Captain Tazariak was getting ready to was debating with one, right? And it's just like, you're talking to someone who's basically their whole mindset, Salakia, of that wacky tacky, plantation Christianity is seared into their head as a hot iron, right? You left the iron on a shirt, right, too long, and you go and get it, and it's that stain that it's going to be imprinted in there, and that's how it is, right? Because they basically are indoctrinated, right? And the scriptures talk about that. What is that? Salakia. What's that? 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 4. Let's start at 3. Right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost." Right? It says, "In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them." All right? And they truly don't have an understanding, right? When you try to reprove and correct people and you're telling them, hey, his name is not Jesus, right? There was no J. The letter J wasn't even invented until, the 1500s, right? That his name, the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahawah, and his son's name is Yahawashi, right? Nah, not my Jesus, right? That whole hot iron is seared into their head, okay? And it's, you try to give people warning after warning, right? But you're talking to a people who have basically been blinded, right? When you go to the book of Isaiah, right, chapter 6 and verse number 9, right, it says, and he said, "Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not," right? And I'm just watching this, debate, and at the end of it, this guy really thinks that he, was really just getting over on Deacon, right? And, Deacon had his points, but he was going off too because he was talking about the Seraphician. What is it? Was it the Seraphician? In Matthew 15 and 24, when Yahawashi says that he was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, he was trying to say that woman, was a Gentile, right? And he was wrong on that, right? We know that she was an Israelite, okay? Just like, and the I forgot the pastor's name, but he was talking about the Ethiopian eunuch, right? And then Deacon, said no, that was an Israelite, right? So the same way that Ethiopian eunuch is an Israelite, that woman, right, was where I think it says she was a Canaanite, right? That woman is an Israelite, right? And that's why Yahawashi killed her daughter. Okay, so but Deacon, he had went off on that, but for the most part, it was just like, this pastor, thinking that he was really getting over, right? And it was just a whole lot of nonsense, man, right? And it's like when you ultimately see that they're just not getting it, right? You just got to understand that, the scriptures say what they say, right? So Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, it says, "And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not." It says, "Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed," right? But the Lord doesn't want to do that, right? And I brought that out, yesterday. 2/3 of our people here, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And you, the diaspora, right? You are Israelites, right? They're going to be destroyed, right? Because the Lord doesn't, it was not set up or ordained for them to get it, right? And Yahawashi said it, when the disciples asked him, "Why do you speak in parables?" Right? He said, it's for you to understand, right? I'll get it again. I think I brought it out yesterday, but let's get it again. Matthew 13. See if it's 10 or 11. Yeah, this is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 10. It says, "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given," right? And that's what you must understand, right? The scriptures talk about the dark parables, right? It also talks about in the book of Sirach that you want to, let's get that. Is it 39 and 1? Time. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." Right? And these Christianity, they're not occupied in prophecies. Right? They're not talking about that. Right? All they're talking about is Jesus this, Jesus that. And that's their whole mentality, right? They don't have the true understanding of these scriptures, right? Because they're not meditating, upon this wisdom and this of the ancient. Okay, it says he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also, right? So you're supposed to be getting into these parables and these dark sayings, right? And understanding that everything is not just for face value, right? They have deeper meanings and understandings, and people don't understand that, and they're not getting it, right? The wacky tacky Christian is not getting it, right? Because they've been seared, with these doctrines of devils, okay, and they can't get it, right? Because it says the god of this world has blinded them, right? That they're not going to understand. So when you continue to sit here and go back and forth and debate, with these wacky tacky Christians, it's just to null and void, right? When you look at it, right? Because they're not really seeking out, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? They're not willing to take reproof and correction. All right. If somebody's telling you, well, that's not his name, and well, no, that's what it says in the script, right? But you're not even going in and researching, right? The scriptures tell you that knowledge shall be increased, right? But you see, as Isaiah or Hosea 4:6 says, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They don't want to get this knowledge. They don't want to gain this knowledge, right? And you can see, in their actions. All right. Let's get this in Titus, right? This is with the title, right? Titus 3 and verse number 10, right? It says, let's start at verse 9, Salakia. It says, "But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain," right? So one was, because they're not going into these words, these root words, they're not gaining understanding, right? And he tried to, go into the law of the Passover, and it talks about the Gentile, and he was like, well, see, so you're telling me that this Gentile who can come in and partake into the Passover, that what did he say? That he was, you're trying to say that, I forgot what he said, but Salaki, but it would have, we understand that only the Israelites, right, can partake in the Passover, right? And you really have to be in this thing to be taken of it, okay? And no heathen can partake in the Passover, right? So, but it was just, it was just like you shaking your head, man. You're just like, man, you know what I mean, right? So because they don't know, they haven't even, gone and tried to read and get into the law, right? And get into these words and what they mean, okay? But it says, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and striving, about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain, right? He was just, show me, white man in the Bible, show me black man in the Bible, right? And that it was just stuff like that, right? But that's the scriptures tell you, to avoid those, foolish questions. It says, a man that is a heretic, after the first and second admonition, reject. All right. It says, knowing that he that is such subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself, right? So you're sitting up here yelling at the wall and expecting the wall is going to, understand and be converted. No, right? That's what you're just talking to a wall, right? You're talking to somebody who has been spiritually blinded, right? Their eyes are shut, right? Their brain is shut down, and they just have no understanding. All right, let's read it in the NLT. Verse number 10, Titus 3:10, it says, if people of causing divisions among you give a first and second warning, right? That admonition is a warning. It says, after that, have nothing more to do with them, for people that have turned away from the truth and their own sins condemn them. Okay? At the end of the day, right? You can only give them warning, right? And once you give them warning, right, like the book of Ezekiel says, Ezekiel 3, after you give them warning, then that's it, right? That same man, if he continues in his ways, that same man is going to die in his sins, right? But thou has, cleansed yourself, But if we don't warn, right? But that's the thing. How many times do you keep warning someone, right? It says after the first and second warning, after that, it says have nothing more to do with them, right? But, they continue to debate, these Christians like something's going to change, and we know it's not, because ultimately, what does it say? Let's go to our oldie but goodie, Romans 11:7. It says, what then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, right? Israel's all, they're all trying to obtain, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this truth, these dark parables, these scriptures. They're trying to get this understanding, right? These wacky tacky churches, Christians, they're trying to do the same thing, right? But it says, like Romans 10 says, they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. All right, they have a zeal, right? But it's not according to knowledge, right? Because they're not going in and trying to, gain that knowledge, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay. So it says, what then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, right? Why? According as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Okay. That's why they're not going to get it. So after that first and second warning, right, if they can't get it, then you got to move on, Hey, you don't get it. All right, hey, listen, there's nothing more I can do for you, You got to pray, James 1:5, man, Pray to Yahawashi outside that he can open your eyes and give you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding at this point, right? So I just wanted to, just put my little 2 cents in, I was watching that, I was just like, man, yeah, they're just not getting it, So, but with that, right, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, right? Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom, right, to the 144,000 men and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another, right? Stay diligent, stay focused, right? And let this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding be your stability in these times, all right? And with that, I want to say shalom.